Hey guys, Nathan Brendan Masters, doing this on my iPad, so it may sound a little bit different, but I wanted to talk about this real quick. And I know I'm late to the game on this, but I like to do my research and stuff, and there wasn't really much research. This is pretty much just what it looks like. They're getting mad at people for playing the original character or something similar to the original Starfire character. For those who don't know, in the comic book, Starfire is orange. But on the TV show, she's portrayed by a black actress, Anna Diop. So now if you portray her the way she was originally conceived as an orange character, or in this situation, a slightly orange character, you are now racist because you're not portraying her black. But the character generally is not black. Jerry Seinfeld talked about this, and he was 100% right. These people don't know what they're talking about. They're simply saying stuff because they believe they're supposed to say it. They're simply saying racist, sexist, homophobic because they don't really know how they're supposed to say it or how they're supposed to use it. They're simply saying what they, well, this has something to do with black people, and we're not exactly sure, but it seems kind of racist. We don't really know exactly how. We just know we should be saying this because this is what you say, and everybody pats you on the back when you say it. Now, I will be honest, the overwhelming majority of comments from what I can see seem to be pretty positive. But there were a lot of people who felt like somehow, some way, she was being racist or she had stepped out of line, or they were very clear to show that, no, this black actress, this black version of Starfire is Starfire. This is what it really is. But again, I'm going to say these people don't read comics. Remember, we always talk about these are people who pretend like they read comics. They're into the characters. I'm not going to ever say that they're not fans, but they're not fans of the comics. Remember, we're the geeks. We're the people everyone hates. So they're not fans of the actual comic. They're fans of these characters. Now, you might be able to parlay that into readership, but very often it doesn't work that way. There are more people who like the movies, both Marvel and DC, and the TV shows and stuff, but they don't necessarily like the comics. In fact, many times, some of these same people would find the comics offensive, or, they just wouldn't like them because, well, those are comic books and those are for geeks, but these are where these characters come from. A lot of people stand this kind of stuff where they're sitting there like they act like this type of stuff is some kind of, oh my God, they're championing the black people. They're doing something for the blacks, but in reality they're not. If you ever notice, the black character is always the one with the cheapest shit. The black show is always the one that's cheapest, the cheapest produced. It never really looks as good as the white stuff. Now, if you want to talk about racism, that's where I would come from. It's like if you look at, and the actress, if you look at Anna Diop, she's fine. The actress, that's a good looking lady. Like when you take off the cheap crap that they put her in. And do you notice that they went out of their way to make her unattractive? Like they have her dressed like this dime store hooker for some reason, and they didn't even try to make her an attractive dime store hooker. It's weird. It's like they're going out of their way to pretend that they're not being racist, but they're actually being racist. This is a very common thing. Let's say that we're doing things because we're not racist, yet the thing we're actually doing is kind of racist. I mean, obviously I know SJWs, you can't have a sexy black woman on the show, but the white, like the girl that plays Donna Troy, they at least give her like basic action hero dark clothes and trench coat. She looks good. How come the black chick can't look good? How come you give her this cheap wig? How come they couldn't have just given her the little orange wig and a nice little bodysuit, or, an outfit like this? Well, they can't do that because you got to be politically correct. You can't show any skin because, we live in a country that you have to be fully covered. You got to make sure, you got to have the approved body type. And if you're a good-looking lady, we can't show that off. Which brings me to my comic book, Hexcraft Mechanics Ultimate Control, which is an urban fantasy bad girl comic book, which is something that you generally don't see because SJWs don't like showing off attractive women, but here we do. This is an urban fantasy bad girl book. You're going to have several seductively dangerous women, some magic, some mirth, and some murder. So that's what you're going to get with this book. Back it today on Indiegogo. Link is in the description. Which brings me to my final point. I believe part of the reason why they're angry, aside from, oh my God, racialism, is also because this young lady is very attractive. And you know they have a problem with very attractive young ladies. They have a problem with attractive women, period. I mean, you remember Adele lost a lot of weight recently and she's looking good, and that's a problem for them. A lot of these women who are angry about this stuff, they themselves not very attractive. You know, we've seen that before. Another thing I should point out, looking at these posts, the real racism here isn't this cosplay in any way, shape, or form. The racism, and this is actually starting to actually bother me now that I'm looking at more pictures, the racism is, why did they make the black girl look like a prostitute? That and that, you know, and I'll say this, that actually kind of bothers me because technically when I first made Zombie Girl was going to be black, but I kind of, you know, stopped and was kind of like, I don't, like, if this character gets real big, I don't necessarily know if I want a black woman as a prostitute being, you know, a big character. And that was kind of like a thing that I struggled with. But obviously, DC and Warner Media didn't see it as a big deal because there's literally no other superhero character that looks like this character. Like, I mean, you know, when you look, I mean, they might look sexy, yeah, and they might have their costume and stuff, and the costume might be sexy. This character literally looks like a hooker. This character looks like something from one of my comic books, okay? There's like a lot of hookers and things like that in my books, but like a superhero comic, this is, you know, the costumes that they put her in, these are not superhero costumes. So I think the wrong people here are being attacked for racism. I mean, I don't know. Now, I will admit, this costume looks pretty nice. I like this one. Is it a Starfire costume? I don't know. It's okay. Everybody else, I can't say. Wonder Girl looks Wonder Girl-ish. Starfire, she's all right. I like this much better than her starter costume. I think her starter costume was garbage. You can't sit there and tell me that nobody stopped and looked at this and said, hey, you know, maybe this isn't the right way to go with this character. But whatever, guys. Okay, guys, I'm about to break out. Don't forget my urban fantasy bad girl comic, Hexcraft Mechanics Ultimate Control. It's on Indiegogo right now. Check out these sexy, seductive, deadly, and dangerous dames in a book full of mysticism, mystery, and murder. If you miss old school bad girl comics, you're going to love Hexcraft Mechanics Ultimate Control. Back it now on Indiegogo. And guys, if you didn't get Hexcraft Mechanics issue 1, you can get it in this campaign. We do have a special perk where you can get both this issue and issue 1. So this is kind of the prequel to issue 1. So you can get both books in this campaign. All right, guys, you take it easy. I'll check you guys later. Hasta.
Don't look back, we're here to stay. A life we knew would come one day. And this is it.